Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shalina, and today I'm starting my series called 5 by 5, where I give you 5 books I have read and recommend, and 5 books that I want to read in a particular genre or category. Today's genre or category is young adult contemporary, and I'm going to start off with the books that I have read and recommend. And please excuse any meowing you might hear. Aramis is locked outside my office, and he is not happy about it. The first book in my read and recommend list is Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow. And I really love this book. It's one that I read and gave 5 stars to. I cried reading this book because the main character, Charlie, really does go through quite a lot. Check your content warnings for this book because it deals with a lot of heavy issues. But it was really beautifully written, beautifully told story, and I just really love this book and have had to have a copy as soon as I finished reading it. So I've had this copy for a few years now. And it's just one I would recommend just because it really dives deeply into what goes through a person's head when they're hurting and in mental and emotional pain. And then all of the things that Charlie does to basically learn to live in a way that is not harmful to herself. The second book on my recommend list is The Best Lies by Sarah Liu. And this book follows Remy and Elise and their friendship in a dual timeline narrative. In the before timeline, it follows Remy and Elise and Remy's boyfriend Jack as they navigate friendship and obsession. And then the now timeline is following the aftermath of Jack's death because he was shot by Elise. And Remy is trying to piece together exactly what happened and why and how and everything. So this book was really good. It's kind of a mystery thriller. It's kind of got that kind of propulsive energy to it. And it was just really a wild ride that I loved from beginning to end. 5 stars, obviously. The next book is another 5 stars that I read more recently, and it is called The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School by Sonora Reyes. And this follows Yami as she navigates being one of the only Mexican kids at her Catholic high school. And she is bound and determined that no one is going to know that she's gay. And so she tries to hide this fact, also while falling in love with one of her classmates. So this is a really good book. It's really poignant and beautifully written. And I just love the themes in here about mental health and being true to who you are. And it was just a fantastic read. The fourth book on my recommend list is The Cheerleaders by Kara Thomas. There are no more cheerleaders in the town of Sunnybrook because 5 years ago, 5 cheerleaders died, all in various ways. 2 were killed in a car accident, 2 were murdered, and 1 died by suicide. But Monica, whose sister is the one that died by suicide, is trying to unravel what really happened to the cheerleaders in her town. And this book, I absolutely love it. There is something in it that is very personal to me because of what Monica goes through in her personal life, and then how that kind of unravels as the story progresses. And I just love this book. Kara Thomas is a master of mystery and thriller. I've read several of her books and they're wonderful. So another 5 stars. The last book on my recommend list for YA contemporary is another sort of mystery thriller, but it made me sob so hard. Which is kind of weird for a mystery thriller, but just trust me. It's called The June Boys by Court Stevens. And this book follows Thea as she is searching for her missing cousin. She believes that her cousin was taken by the Gemini thief, which is a serial kidnapper that kidnaps boys from June 1st to June 30th of the following year. And in that time, none of the 12 boys that have been kidnapped have been harmed until the year that Thea finds that her cousin has gone missing. And then another kidnapped boy turns up dead. And that has never happened before. The Gemini thief typically releases the boys unharmed, but now that one is turned up dead and her cousin is missing, Thea is trying to hunt down this kidnapper. And it sounds kind of straightforward as far as mystery thrillers go, but there is a lot about trauma in here. And it hit me so hard when I was reading it. And I love Court Stevens for that. I love Court Stevens' writing and the way that she imbues her books with just so much heart. And it was just amazing. Of course, 5 stars. The first book on my young adult contemporary want to read list is actually the companion novel to the Lesbiana's Guide, and it is called The Golden Boy's Guide to Bipolar by Sonora Reyes. Now, this book follows Cesar as he comes to terms with his own sexuality. Cesar is Yami's brother, who we meet in the Lesbiana's Guide. And he's also coming to terms with his new bipolar diagnosis. Again, Sonora Reyes is an amazing writer, and I'm so looking forward to reading this one. The next book on my want to read list is Friday, I'm in Love by Camryn Garrett. This book follows Mahalia as she embarks on having a big coming out party. But will she get the girl? So the tagline for this is a love letter to romantic comedy, Sweet 16 blowouts, black joy, and queer pride. So it just sounds like a totally fun read that I'm so excited to get to. The third book on my want to read list is We Deserve Monuments by Jas Hammonds, and this follows Avery as she is uprooted during her senior year in DC to live with her grandma. And this book is supposed to have family secrets, a slow burn mystery, and some swoony romance, and I'm very excited to read it. The next YA contemporary book that I want to read is This Is Me Trying by Racquel Marie. I've never read Racquel Marie before, but I've heard that their books are pretty good. And this one follows Beatrice as she is exploring grief, love, and guilt. So again, it sounds like it's going to be a heavier book, but I'm totally into those. The final book on my want to read list for YA contemporary is called Say a Little Prayer by Jenna Voris. And this book follows Riley as she goes to church camp to avoid suspension and is intending to commit every deadly sin. It sounds like it's going to be a fun time, and I love the cover, so that's one that's on the list for want to read. Thank you for spending this time with me as I went over my 5x5 for YA Contemporary. If you enjoyed this video and you want to like and subscribe to see more content, that would be great, and I'd greatly appreciate it. If you have made it this far in the video and want to leave me an emoji in the comments, try leaving me some kind of flower emoji, and that will let me know that you were here. Thank you, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!